students. More results from my students. This is another set of results. These are different people, different stages of the application, different people. This one even had, one of my students even had to decline an offer, had to decline a provisional offer. You see, we are disappointed that you have decided to decline a provisional offer to join us. So she had to decline a provisional offer because the results were too real to be true. Let me take you back to the first set of results that I showed you. Yes. So these are results of my students. Different people. Congratulations. Congratulations. This is another slide. Congratulations. Congratulations. Now, this is not even all. If I start to open my messages, if I open the message, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new here, welcome. If you're just seeing me for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. So for the next few minutes, we are going to be discussing strategies that will change the way you make your applications. Strategies that will elevate your personal statements and your interviews. Okay? So now let's proceed without wasting much of your time. Right. So what will you learn today? You will learn what is ruining your application. What is ruining your application? You will learn about communicating and influencing must-dos for the HEO level. HEO means Higher Executive Officer. And then you learn about making effective decisions for the EO level, Executive Officer. And then pro tips tested and proven. Okay? This is the total package for today. And then by the end of this class, you're going to understand what has been harming your application. Now, disclaimer. Everything I will be sharing today is based on personal experience and from what I have the insights I've gained helping people to succeed. Practical, proven, tested evidence that will work for you. Okay, so this should not be mistaken for the official civil service guidance. All right, and I do not have influence over who is sifted in or who is sifted out. That said, let us proceed. My promise to you, stay until the end of this class and I will show you. I will hold your hands and teach you so that you are in a strong place to make your application. I will show you what makes the difference between getting rejected and getting sifted in. Okay? And I will hold your hands and you will leave this session with strategies you can apply right away. Strategies that will shift the way you make your applications. Now let's proceed. A little about me. This class is not about me, but I will just give you a little about me. My name is Favor, and I work with the civil service. I am the founder of this hub, the Civil Service Breakthrough Hub. So this is a community that I found because when I was making my own application, it was quite difficult for me, right? And I found that it would be helpful for people who are passing through the same journey to be able to learn from someone who has passed through that journey. All right. And then we are launching today. Now, why are you here? So you are here for 3 main reasons. You are tired of receiving unfortunately. You are tired of working frustrating long hours at your current job. You are tired of jumping from one job fair to another. Which one are you? I want to be sure that I understand my audience, that I understand why you are here. All right. So if you are any of the 3 that you can see on the screen, then you are the reason for this community. Why am I in the best position to teach you? It's simple. My evidences speak for themselves. My evidences speak for themselves. This is not cho. This is evidence. Let me take you on a little journey. Now, these are my students, results for my students at different levels of application. You can see congratulations everywhere. Congratulations. Some were writing interviews. Some had gotten job offers. Now, this is not the only evidence, right? Let's come here. This is another one. So we see, you're seeing these are different people at different stages of their interviews, different people at different stages of their application. This is proven strategies that will work for you. The moment you apply these strategies, they will work for you. All right, as long as you're doing them rightly. Now, I am so excited for you. So I will say congratulations in advance. Congratulations in advance. And I hope you are excited. You're as excited as I am. So let's get straight into the topic, right? Let's get straight into why you are here. First of all, what is ruining your application? What is ruining your application? Sifters insights. What is ruining your application? Sifters insights. The first one here is lack of impact focus. When you are writing, your application is not focused on the impact. So this is exactly where my mentees were feeling. They were, I mean, before they worked with me, this is where they were failing. They were using, examples of who they were instead of focusing on the impact. Instead of saying, I have proven communication and the rest of them, you say, I have spearheaded, I have championed this, I have championed transformation in so. So you have to be specific and you have to focus on the impact of what you have done. All right, so that is one thing that is ruining your application. Number two, star examples without clarity. You are giving star examples they don't have clarity. You are giving star examples that you focus on the situation and the tasks. Sifters and interviewers want to know your actions. They want to know your results. So what were your results? What was your action? What was the result of your action? That's what you should be focusing on when you are, writing your personal statement and when you finally get to interview. Now, one pro tip, right? This pro tip, I didn't discuss it in my class. The class I just had this evening. One pro tip is for HEO, okay? Focus on the impact. I mean, your actions within your organization, your actions as how it has impacted your organization as a whole, right? Because that is a leadership role. Now for EO, focus on your actions within your team, the impact of your actions, the result of your actions within your team. HEO needs organizational focus, departmental focus, more than just within your team. EO, you can just dwell within your team, depending on which one you're applying for. All right. Now that's star examples without clarity. Your star examples should have clarity. The third one is failure to link civil service success profile language. Now, what do I mean by civil service success profile language? When you go to the civil service success profile, you will see 7 behaviors and 36 strengths. For each behavior, they have listed points that you should address when making your application. Okay. Now, I advise my students to try as much as possible to incorporate those points in your examples. Try as much as possible as you're incorporating those points. Make sure that you hit all the person specification, all the essential criteria. Okay. Try as much as possible to hit them and hit those points as well. Now, the civil service success profile language, you see those points of each behavior. That is what you should incorporate in your personal statement. So for instance, where it says strong communication and coaching skills, in your personal statement, you can just, use it word for word. I demonstrated strong communication and coaching skills by, you give an evidence, you give an example. So that is how you should link civil service success profile language. Now, the last one is using we instead of I. Definitely, I'm not able to cover everything here in this one session, but I will try as much as possible to make it as educational as possible, because this is going to be, the last free class you'd get from me. Now, using we instead of I have noticed this in a lot of, from, my students when they started working with me, when, they just started working with me. I noticed that even during our interview prep, they were using we did this, we did that, we did this. No, the sifter is not interested in what your team did. The sifter is not interested in what your colleague did. The sifter is interested in what you did. What did you do? What did you do? That's what the sifter is interested in, not what your colleague did or what some other person did. So instead of using we, focus on what you did, right? So let's move on. Let's move to the first behavior that we are going to be talking about today: communicating and influencing. Must do's. So this is for higher executive officer. Higher executive officer. For communicating and influencing, I have noticed that a lot of people do not struggle with the communicating part of the behavior, but people struggle with the influencing part. One thing you should do is show how you tailored your communication style. By this, I mean, how did you consider your technical audience? How did you consider your non-technical audience? How did you consider the people that couldn't hear you? People that can't hear? Did you put, did you use audio for them? Did you use, for people that can't really read, did you use charts? Did you use visuals? How did you do this? How did you tailor your communication to suit your audience? This is very important. This is very, very important. Now, the second one is, how have you ensured that your audience understood what you were saying? How did you ensure that your audience understood what you were saying? For instance, I am speaking to you, right? You are listening to me. How can I know that you understand what I'm talking about? By asking questions, making the chat or conversation as interactive as possible. So you have to demonstrate that you were actually concerned about how your audience were receiving your communication. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. The third one is demonstrate how you influenced people to buy into your idea. Communicating and influencing, these are two skills merged in one behavior. How did you, influence people to buy into your idea? You're on a project, for instance, and then you want to take a different direction that would help to improve the project. But your team is saying, no, we do not agree with that direction. How would you convince them? How would you convince them to take the direction that you want to take? How would you convince them to take the direction that you want to take? Okay, so now we would answer that question. So because I know that influencing, a lot of people struggle with the influencing part of this behavior, so I have decided to give more free tips on influencing. Okay, I have decided to give you more free tips on influencing. How do you influence? One, using evidence. Obviously, this is not the comprehensive list, all right? But this is something that would help you, and you can apply these strategies right away. Using evidence. Use evidence when influencing. What does evidence include? Showing benefits of what you're about to sell to them, of the idea, using evidence, using proof that your idea is actually tangible. All right, that is number one. Number two, demonstrating authority. Now, this only comes with expert knowledge, because you can't really demonstrate authority when you do not know something. So when you're able to demonstrate authority is when you are, knowledgeable in an area or in a field. Now, when you demonstrate authority, you speak with confidence. People actually respect your words. People actually take you seriously. Okay. Now, the third one is finding a trade-off. By trade-off, I mean finding a common ground. Find a common ground. For instance, I'll give like a layman example here. I want to go somewhere, right? But you want to go somewhere else. But I want you to join me to this place. Now, I know that you want to go somewhere else to get something. What would I do? I would offer you that thing that you want to get somewhere else. I would offer to give it to you if you join me. That is a common ground. Find a common ground. That is part of negotiating. Find a common ground. Find a common ground. Demonstrate how you found the common ground. You can use any of these examples to demonstrate how you influenced people. So that is that. Now let's go to this take-home question. If you were asked this question in an interview, if you were faced with this question in your interview, you are working on a project and you have an idea of what could improve that project, but the team does not agree with you, how would you influence their decision? You have an idea of what could improve a project, but the team does not agree with you. How would you influence their decision? This is a take-home project. You have to, like, you can take a screenshot of this project, of this question, and then ensure that you reflect on it and understand the skills that they are looking for here. Okay? Now let's move on. The second behavior we're going to be speaking about today is making effective decision. And this is for EO level. Making effective decision for EO level. First of all, one tip is pick an example where a decision actually had to be made. Pick an example where you actually had to make a decision. Make sure that all options were good enough. Make sure that in your examples, all of the options were good enough. Now, what do I mean by this? If you, for instance, I want to get a product. I researched and I can see two options. Option one is really good, is affordable, it's not, it's real and it's quality, right? It's not cheap, it's affordable, but it's quality. Option two, on the other hand, is option two on the other hand is on the high side and the quality is low. You can see that in these two examples, it's actually clear what option to go with, right? That's not how an ideal example should be. An ideal example should be in a situation whereby both options were actually good enough. Now they want to know the rationale behind the option that you chose. Why did you finally make the decision that you made where you were faced with two options that were good enough? That's number one. Number two, because I see a lot of candidates, just choosing an example where their option was just one good one. You shouldn't do that. Now, number two, show that you gathered relevant data from credible sources. What do I mean by this? When you, for instance, I want to get a laptop, a new laptop. What is the first thing I'll do? I would research. I would research for stores selling laptops. Now, I will not just go and research for one store, from one store. No, I will go to different stores to make my research, right? What am I doing? I am gathering data. I am comparing the price. I am comparing the reviews. I am comparing what people are saying. I am comparing the capacity of the laptop I'm trying to get. I am comparing the RAM. I am comparing the storage. I am comparing different things. So I'm carrying out an analysis, basically, right? I am researching this relevant information of laptops from credible sources. Credible sources means the source must be correct. I cannot look for a laptop and go to a clothing store. So you need to evidence that you actually gathered relevant data from credible sources. Now, number three, demonstrate the consideration and analysis of different options. So this links to number two. When you are gathering your data, gathering these different options, you have to demonstrate that you actually analyzed these options. Now, 4 things that you must demonstrate: costs, benefits. Write this down. If you've not been listening before, listen now. Write this down. You must demonstrate the costs, benefits, risks, very important, and then potential impact on end users. These 4 things must be demonstrated. You can add others, but these 4 things, very important. Now, the fourth one, demonstrate consultation with stakeholders. Now, this is a pro tip, right? Once you have made a decision, once you have researched, you've analyzed, now you're about to make a decision, demonstrate that you actually consulted a stakeholder to support your decision. You consulted different opinions. You didn't just go ahead to make your decision. They are looking for that reason. They want to know the rationale. What evidence, what facts did you gather? Okay, very, very important. Now, pro tip, right, for making effective decision. Explain your decision outcome and your recommendation. Make sure that your decision carries a recommendation. Make sure that you clearly outline your decision outcome and make sure that it carries a recommendation. Recommend something. Don't just drop a decision. Recommend something. Recommend something from that decision that you made. Why do you think it would be good? Why have you chosen it? Why do you think it would be feasible for what they are trying to, the problem they're trying to solve. Very important. Now, number 2, demonstrate how you handled stakeholders who did not agree with you. When you make decisions, right, everyone cannot agree with you. When you make decisions, everybody cannot agree with you. So it is very important to demonstrate how you handle disagreement. This is something that will actually set you apart in your applications. Show reflections. Very important. Show reflections. Show reflections. Show reflections. Reflections is more of lessons learned. You need to show that after this experience, you actually learned something. After this experience, you actually, you learned something from the experience that you would take home, or something that would help you improve when you are, faced with same experience again. Okay, so now let's go to the take-home question. Describe a time when you had to make a decision with limited information. Now, this question is very tricky, but it is very important that you prepare for it ahead of time. Prepare for it in case you are faced with a question like this. Okay. Now, pro tips, tested and proven. Pro tip one is the example bank system. Example bank system. So what is the example bank system? Create an example bank. Create an example bank. Now, my mentees mirrored my exact template. So the template I use, because I have an example bank of the 7 behaviors, both HEO and EO, I have them, right? My mentees mirrored them and then modified them to suit their own experiences, right? And this helped them to actually apply with ease. They were able to, apply with ease. And this is also part of our 30-day challenge. This is also part of our 30-day intensive challenge. Now, pro tip 2, all-inclusive example style. Make sure, write this down. Make sure that your examples hit, your style examples, make sure that they hit the essential criteria. Make sure that they hit every criteria, every essential criteria. Make sure that they hit it. Trust me, even when my mentees used them, they were receiving interviews, they were receiving offers. So I have this already. So if you are not able to come up with this, that is why I'm here for you. If you're not able to come up with this by yourself, I am here for you. And I am going to guide you and teach you how to create your own. Okay? Very important. So yeah, this is the same thing I just said. I taught my mentees how to create robust examples that addresses all the listed points in a behavior. So now during this 30-day challenge, I will hold your hands. I keep saying this. I will actually teach you how to create similar examples, okay, that will easily, give you the result that you're looking for. Pro tip 3, the essential criteria to question method. Change your essential criteria to questions. What I'll do, first of all, once I see I read a job advert, right, I am going to copy the essential criteria. I am going to convert those essential criteria to questions. For instance, an essential criteria that says strong communication and coaching skills. What am I going to do? I'm going to copy it. I am going to convert it to, where have I demonstrated strong communication and coaching skills? That way, I am able to give evidence. I am able to give what? Tangible evidence. I am able to give tangible evidence of what I have done, not just cho. Right. So let's move on. Yes, like I said, convert every point in the essential criteria to a question. This one is a game changer. Insider feedback. Make sure. I would advise that if you are looking for an opportunity in a particular organization, for instance, go to LinkedIn. Look for people in that organization. All right. Reach out to them. Connect with them and see if they can actually proofread your statements. Now, this works because they have actually gone through those steps that the stages of application you're trying to go through. They have actually gone through it, and they will be in the best position to help you. And in this case, you are in the right place because you want to apply for civil service HEO and EO roles. So, and I am in the best position to guide you through this. I am in the best position to actually read through your application, to proofread your application. And this is going to be part of our 30-day challenge. Okay. My community will have express access to my feedback, and it will be constant feedback. Whatever application they want to make, constant feedback. Don't apply again with that same strategy that you were using before. That strategy you were using that failed you the last time. That strategy that gave you an unfortunately. The strategy that gave you a rejection. Do not apply again with it. Change your style. Change your strategy. Upgrade yourself. Acquire knowledge. Even if it means you investing in the knowledge you're about to acquire. Do it. It will change your life. It will transform you. Okay. The earlier I tell people that the earlier you are able to grab opportunity when it comes, the better for you. All right. Now, so we have covered a lot today, actually. We have gone through what sifters are really looking out for, to must-dos and pro tips for your application to stand out, right? But as you know, we have 7 behaviors and 36 strengths. It only means that I cannot cover 7 behaviors and 36 strengths in a single session. And I know most of you are thinking, how do I actually apply this to my own personal statement? How do I, apply this to my interview? How do I choose the right example? How do I do this? How do I, actually get concrete examples? Good. That is why I am here. This is exactly why I have created my mentoring program. During this program, I will be holding your hands. And we'll be diving deeper. I will walk you step by step, right? We would dissect the behaviors, we would dissect the strengths, we are going to address everything. I haven't really addressed strengths here on this call, but actually for strength questions, there are no right or wrong answers, but people make a lot of mistake. They ask you the first question, you think it's just a question. That first question is to gauge your natural reaction. So for instance, they ask you a question like, what do you enjoy doing during your free time? And then you start answering that question with all excitement. They are gauging your natural reaction. Now, when they ask you a strength question like, how would you react if someone in your team confronts you? And your initial reaction to that question is a slump. Let's say you slump back to your seat, or you behave in a way that does not align with your initial natural behavior that they gauge, that they used as a baseline. Then you have demonstrated that you actually do not have strength in that particular strength they are trying to test you for. Now, this might sound a little confusing now, but in my community, I am going to be breaking it down. Now, what will you benefit from joining my community? Core bi-weekly training. You will be part of mind-blowing bi-weekly training. Bi-weekly, I mean 2 times a week. It will help you land your desired role. All right. In this training, we will cover the civil service behaviors. We would cover your personal statement. We would cover interviews. We would cover strengths, and then sifters insights. Okay. This would also be a community where, because I go through these trainings, right? I go through these trainings, and I am able to actually, tell you what you need to know. All right. So I'll be sharing these important insights for you to land your desired role. Let's go forward. This is not all, right? This is not all that you will get. Let's go on. You will also get hands-on support, assessment, and feedback. I will set targeted tasks to build your example bank, sharpen your star stories. So we would have assessment and feedback, one-to-one coaching, 30-day intensive challenge, interview preparation, right? All in one community. All in one community. This is still not all. What will you get? Accountability and community. You'd be assigned to an accountability partner. You'd be paired with an accountability partner that would actually keep you accountable. If I give you an assignment, your accountability partner would chase you until you submit your assignment. All right. So this would keep you on track and make sure that you achieve your desired role. You would also have a supportive community. All right, a community that would help you connect with others that have similar interests just as you. You would have continuous express access to me. Whenever you call me, I am there. Whenever you need help with an application, if you want to apply for 5 applications, if you want to make 5 applications rather, if you want to apply for 5 different roles, I am there. Now, but if you come for my one-to-one coaching sessions, I can only coach you for maybe 40 minutes. But in my community, you will gain express access to me. Now, calculate the total amount. How much would all these things cost? How much? How much do you think it will cost? If I were to calculate everything, how much do you think it would cost? So note the amount that you have calculated, okay? Note the amount, because in my head, it is not less than 500 pounds. It is not less than 500 pounds. The value that, even the value that you've gained today is not less than that amount. The value that you would gain from my community, bi-weekly trainings, one-to-one coachings, just mention it. 30-day intensive challenge, interview preparations, we would access strengths, your personal statement would revamp it. How much would that cost? Right, so note that amount. The amount in my head is 500 pounds, nothing less than that. I created this opportunity to actually help people. All right. I have a vision. And my vision is 30 jobs by 2026. My vision is 30 jobs by 2026. How will I fulfill this vision? For it to happen, right, I have to actually deliver quality. For my vision to come into fruition, I have to deliver quality. And for me to deliver quality, this means that I can only work with a select number of people who are serious to land their dream HEO and EO roles in the civil service. Now, how do we do this selection? Here is my offer, right? I normally offer one-to-ones, but because this is the first cohort that will form my first community, my previous students, right? It was more of individual sessions. So there was no community to join them together. There was no community to actually bring them together. But this is my first cohort that will actually give birth to my first community. And I am so excited about this. I am so ready to pour into you. I am so ready for you to actually be one of those students that, their testimonies would be on my screen for my next cohort. Okay, so instead of paying 600 pounds, click the link. So you see this link displayed on your screen? You see the link displayed on your screen? Good. Now, instead of paying 600 pounds, click the link displayed on your screen and pay just 220 pounds. Now, if for instance, I just take you on one of these things I've listed in my offer, just maybe a one-to-one or something like that, or one-to-one interview prep or personal statement revamp. Do you know how much one session will cost? Now, one thing you should be aware of is that, these slots will not be open for so long. All right. And what I can work with currently is just 60. I have done the maths myself. I am just one person. I have done the maths myself. I am just one person. I can only work with 60 students. Once we are full, I am going to, every other person would have to wait until our next cohort. I can only work with 60 students. That's what I can only work with. Now, let me show you more evidence of my students' results. If you are still struggling to decide, this is what I have for you. Opportunity comes only but once. The scariest thing that will happen to you is missed opportunity. click the link. So the link is displayed on your screen. Click on it. You will be able to make your payment or split your payment using Klarna. If you're making payments, make sure that you put in your details so that I am able to see your email, and I'll be in touch with you within 24 hours. Now, you've been given a chance, all right? Do not apply with the same strategy that made you fail. You have been using that same strategy and you have been getting, unfortunately, you have been getting rejections. Now the civil service fast stream is out. They have just opened and you want to apply again with those same strategies that made you fail. It is time for a change. Now, why will this work? Why should you trust this? Why should you trust this community? Why should you trust this program? This is not guesswork. This is not generic career coaching. This is civil service specific. This is something that has produced results. This is something that's been tested. Like I said, I have tested this on applicants, over 15 civil servants. They are currently civil servants, over 15. I started running this test last year. All right, over 15, and they have produced results. So, and I have been there, I have failed, I have learned, I have tried again, I have tested. Most importantly, I have tested. So I have tried again, I have succeeded, and I have tested. So I know that this will work for you as long as you take it serious. These are more evidence from my students, more results from my students, more results from my students, more results from my students. This is another result, another set of results. These are different people, different stages of the application, different people. This one of my students even had to decline an offer, had to decline a provisional offer. You see, we are disappointed that you have decided to decline a provisional offer to join us. May we take this opportunity to thank you. So she had to decline a provisional offer because the results were too real to be true. Let me take you back to the first set of results that I showed you. Yes. So these are results for my students. These are results for my students. See, different people. Congratulations, 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 congratulations. This is another slide. Congratulations, congratulations. Now, this is not even all. If I start to open my messages, if I open the messages I received, if I open my DMs, if I start to put all the proof here, this meeting will be longer than it's supposed to be. So now that you've seen that evidence, this is a one-time fee and it's for an invaluable knowledge. You will get full access to the training. You get full access to the tools and my personal feedback. You get access to the community, ongoing support as you continue to apply. So this is not a course. This is not something that will end after 30-day challenge. No, this is something that would actually, continue. And with time, we would incorporate other things that would benefit the members of this community. Okay? Now, the only difference between you and the candidates who are getting offers right now is that they are following something that works. They are following a system that is tested and trusted. That is the difference between Sarah, between you and Sarah. Sarah is getting it, you are getting unfortunately. Sarah is getting congratulations, you are getting unfortunately. Make a decision. Make a decision. Choose a struggle. Pick your struggle. This October, November, December time is the best time. This is the best time for you to make use of this opportunity. This is the best time for you because by January, companies start reducing, recruitment. Recruitment comes up very well October, November, December. Make use of this season. This is the best season to catch this. Now, like I said, 60 people. And that is once we get to 60 people, that's it. I have actually calculated it. I need just 60 people to work with. 60 people. 60 people that will give me results by the end of before the beginning of January, right? 30 job offers. That is the vision. Are you ready? Are you ready to stop second guessing yourself and start getting results? Are you ready? Are you ready? Right. So while making payments, kindly fill out the form. Just fill out the form and I will be in touch with you within 24 hours. Okay? Let's kickstart your success journey. Congratulations. If you have already joined, congratulations. Make use of this opportunity. Make use of this opportunity. But congratulations once again. Congratulations, congratulations. Let's kickstart your success journey.